And we're live. Hey, everybody. Tamara here with a very special guest, Burgess Taylor. Say hi to the people, and I will tweet out this link.
Hello, how are y'all? I hope that y'all are doing well. Happy Sunday. I just realized I told Tamara I forgot all about the Word Nerds being live on Sunday evenings. But we also have a little bit of a different audience. We have some older, so hopefully we'll be watching Word Nerds after our I'll probably be watching Word Nerds later this evening. So hello, Sherry. But I think it's important. I really wanted to do this because we're inching closer and closer to Camp NaNoWriMo. It's less than 2 weeks away. Since today is the 18th, we actually start Camp NaNoWriMo in exactly 2 weeks. The 1st of April is on a, what is it, on a Monday? Sunday? On Sunday. So I think it's pretty important. And I'm trying to get back into, yes, they do have a younger audience. I do watch the Word Nerds. I do watch them. I miss Erica and the other one that starts with the C.
Callie, Casey?
Callie, yeah, something like that.
I can't remember.
Me either. But I love the Word Nerds. I love their channel. And I think with Camp NaNoWriMo so close with it looming. Hello, Shannon. I think we're getting really close to the wire. It feels like it's super imposing. But we still have some time. So this is a really good opportunity to just talk writing and Camp NaNoWriMo and tips and advice and ask questions and learn a little bit more and talk about what didn't work.
So if anyone is confused or if you're not aware, NaNoWriMo itself is National Novel Writing Month, and that happens every November, where people all over the world try to write 50,000 words in 30 days. But then in April and August, is there one in June also?
No.
They have Camp NaNoWriMo. And with Camp NaNoWriMo, it's way more lax, and you create your own goals. So whether it's to finish a manuscript or to edit something, revisions, maybe you want to start a habit or routine of writing X amount of time per day, whatever, it's really up to you. So your goal becomes whatever that goal is that you set, and you try to reach it by the end of the month. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Oh, is it July? Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, it's April, July, and November. And then they have the other Rimo events like NaNoWriMo and Edit. I don't know what the Edit Rimo is. There's a few other, there's Blog, the one for the blogging, and quite a few other things.
But I'm not sure if all of those are under the NaNoWriMo umbrella.
No, I think those are other, like, extras.
But under the NaNoWriMo umbrella, there's NaNoWriMo and the 2 camps, and they also have something for kids too. So I have done Camp NaNoWriMo successfully. I'm not even sure. I did look that up before I came on here, but I've done it, I'd say maybe 6 or 7 times. It's kind of hard to say since there's 2 every year. But I generally don't do both of them because the one in July, I'm usually kind of like getting back into routine after being over in West Virginia and visiting my family for a month. So by that time, July is kind of, it's a rocky month for me. But generally speaking, you can join a cabin or a group, and there's cabins that are privately made, or like people, friends, or whoever will make them together, or there's public ones that you can join, or you can allow Camp NaNoWriMo itself to add you to a cabin. And they, generally speaking, you're probably going to be with like strangers. And the cabins, I think, are fun because they could be ways to support each other, to kind of check in. And it's just like another level of meeting with people. Sorry if you could hear that in the background. I think it's a motorcycle.
I have a cabin. Started one a couple years ago and doing it because I got tired of being put in cabins with people that I had nothing in common with, that were talking about all kinds of things but writing, or that but no writing, and then people that were like way younger than me, or it's not usually that I get in there with too many people that are way older than me, but I just felt like I didn't have very much in common. So I started I either did it by myself and I like did the tent thing, where you pretend you're camping and like I had my imaginary cabin, or I would do it where I just did nothing and just, but the last couple of years, I think I've done the cabin. I have a cabin this time. I still have a little bit of room. I prefer having people that want to talk about writing, but don't want to be on there all the time, because I can't constantly chat or I won't be writing. So you have to find that way to help motivate and inspire each other and hold each other accountable, but not be where you expect to have chatting constantly because, you need to be writing.
Very true. And it's isn't it campnanowrimo.org?
Yeah.
And so you can go there and you can create your profile, create your goals or your project, and that's also where you can join cabins and such. And I, generally speaking, I try to, if I'm in someone's cabin, I try to check in on a daily basis, and so that keeps me kind of in the Camp NaNoWriMo mindset, because since it is kind of a little looser, you don't see people talking about it as much, say like on Twitter or on Facebook or whatever. So it's not as in my in front of my face. But since this year I'll be vlogging it, I'll definitely be thinking about it. So I don't think I'll have the I forgot that I was doing Camp NaNoWriMo issue this time around.
Hello, Erica. I find that NaNoWriMo is much more it's promoted a lot more than
Definitely.
But I like the camps. The camps are more laid back. They're a lot easier, I find, to kind of get some writing done, to do some writing sprints, to learn more about yourself as a writer, because it's not in your face, oh my God, I've got to get right at 1,700 words written every day. It's whatever you're choosing to do. So whether it's word count and you're writing, or you're finishing a novel, or you're even outlining a novel, or doing a screenplay or book of poetry, or whatever it is that you're doing, the community is still there. It's just not as big and it's not as promoted as NaNoWriMo.
But that has its positives and its negatives. But I like camp because I like to create my own goals anyway. And generally by this time of the year, I look at my year of goals that I create and I think to myself, oh, I'm behind on X, Y, and Z. Then I can use camp as a way to kind of jump myself forward and get back into the groove of things. I don't know why it happens around this time of year for me, but for some reason in April, I just realized that I've been slipping.
I think it's because usually we get so gung-ho at the beginning of the year for our goals, making your goals, and you start like really you're getting into all your stuff. And then as the end of the first quarter of the year, by the time February, March roll around, you're like reevaluating your goals, because you're not, maybe you either haven't quite kept up with what you thought you'd be able to do, or maybe some new things came in, or maybe you had ideas that changed and maybe you got better ones, or maybe you realized, you know, something else or whatever. And I think April is a good time of the year for the camp. At least for me, like you, I find that it's a really good way for me to sort of get back into where what I want with my goals and getting back into the swing of things if I've kind of gotten out of it. And I usually have.
True. Very true. Are any of you doing Camp NaNoWriMo this year, or do you have any questions or comments about it? Have you done it before and you were successful? You weren't successful? Tell us your stories. Share with us.
And if you haven't done it at all ever, then let us know. It's a really, it is a lot of fun. It is more laid back. It is more relaxed, and I really like the camps.
I do too. It's fun. And I like the idea of going to camp with other writers because I didn't go to camp as a kid. So this is like my adult version of going to camp, where it's from the comfort of my own home.
We've got new campers. Okay, so if any of you have signed up and created your project, I do have a little bit of room for my cabin. So if you'd like to message me on Facebook, or you can email me my I think Tamara will be putting my information below once this is over, or just
it's already your YouTube, your blog, and your Twitter and your IG are there. Do you want me to add your email too?
It's just journeywithburgess@gmail.com. So if you set up everything, you set up your project, then you can join somebody's cabin or create your own cabin. But you have to have a project already in there in order to sign into a cabin. Every year I forget about that. And then people are like, I want to join the cabin. And I'm looking for their names and I can't find them because they haven't created a project yet. So just make sure that once you sign up, you create a project. You signed up for a random cabin for mystery writers. Yay. Well, you know, it is fun. It is fun to, if you get in a cabin and you can get in the cabin with people with like interest. Shannon did it last year in July and ended up with 15,000 of her 20,000 goal.
That's awesome. I mean, I would call that a success. I don't know.
Me too. That's a win.
That's a lot of words.
I think if you do, whether it's camp or nano or whatever it is, if you don't make the numerical goal, but you get writing done, and writing is once again a habit, or you've enjoyed yourself or had fun or all of the above, I call it a win. I call it a win. Because to me, camp and nano and any of it, all of it, it's more for me to keep my head in the writing, to keep in the practice of trying to write every day, whether it's 20 words or 20,000 words, whatever it is. Not that I could write 20,000 words in a day. Well, I might be able to kind of do anything else, but I think it's important just for me personally to keep writing and to keep in the mindset of that. And I love the community that comes with the NaNoWriMo events.
So Crafted by Little Dragons asks, how many words should we aim for a first timer? Is there a good number? And my suggestion is, do you write every day right now? And is there a certain number that you try to reach every day currently? And if there is, then I would maybe add a little bit to that and try. And if there isn't, I would make a goal that would be comfortable for you to reach. So let's say you're someone who you like to write, but you don't have a lot of spare time during your day, then maybe don't create a word goal of 3,000 words a day. Try to make it something that's obtainable for you and maybe like a little bit of a stretch. So if 500 words is something that you generally can reach pretty easily, maybe try 750 or 800 or something. Just a little bit further so that you you're trying to actually reach a goal that's a little different from your daily. And like I said, you could do, if you don't want to do word counts, you could do time. So you're sitting and you're writing for 30 minutes or an hour each day to try to create a routine. It's really up to you. Made in the SOS, I don't necessarily try to write every day, but I try to do something writing or story related every day, because sometimes you can't write on a given day, but maybe you do a character sheet or something.
Exactly.
I think that's great. And oh, I missed it. Karen says she's attempting camp again and planning to write a bunch of short stories, and she didn't go to camp either. High five. And she likes the November event much better because of all the hype. The hype does make it fun, but I think camp's fun too.
Sherry says she writes in spurts when she gets inspired. I went to a day camp, and I went to vacation Bible school, but there were no spend the night, go away to camp. I went to 4-H camp, which was a day camp for a week. I went every day for a few hours, but I never went to an overnight camp or a weekend camp or a week camp. I went camping with family, but I never went to like a camp. You know, you see in the movies and TV shows where the kids pack their bags and they go away to like a camp and they spend the weekend or a week at a camp. No, I didn't do it either.
Yeah, that didn't happen here. I think the closest thing I went to a camp was it was like a math and science day camp, because spoiler alert, always been a nerd. And that was when I got my first kiss. So, and that ended up being an embarrassing experience.
Yeah, like I said, I went to 4-H camp. We went to a camp at the Y, which was within walking distance of where I lived. And that was a everyday where you go and you are there for a couple of hours, but you go home. And I went to like vacation Bible school. Sherry said she went to Girl Scout camp for a week when she was 11. It was horrible. She's allergic to mosquitoes. So am I. They leave huge, huge whelps on me. Shannon said she went to band camp every summer for a week, overnight, the whole experience. Total geek here. I would have loved to. It wasn't in band. I can't play any musical instruments. My grandmother tried to teach me piano. I got to the point where I could play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Stars and stuff like that, but that was about it. Vacation Bible school, yes, that was what I did, was vacation Bible school, but there was no spending the night. You know, I didn't do any of that. My daddy died when I was little. And unless we were spending the night with friends or relatives, we weren't going away for any length of period of time like that. There was no way my mom was going to let us go to a camp like that where you spent the night overnight for like a weekend or a week at a time. There was no way my mom would have let me do that.
Yeah, my parents weren't down with that either. They didn't trust people. But I mean, because of that, there wasn't anything crazy that happened to me when I was little. So,
yeah, but I think I don't know. I'm as a grandmother now, my kids didn't go to any of those really, but I think now as a grandmother, I'm kind of torn. I want Victor to experience things like that. And then at the same time, I'm like, I don't know those. I won't know any of those people.
Right.
You know? I don't know. I don't want to be, my daughter's like, Mom, you're being too overprotective, you know, but I don't know. That's my only grandchild. But this camp, I remember the one year Persephone did a tent in her writing space.
I remember that.
Very light. She had it all set up. She did a tour of it. It was friggin' fantastic. I loved that whole idea. I would love to be able to do something like that in here. I don't think I will be able to, but I would love to. I don't have the room in here to do that. Not and create art and journal and everything else I do in here. But one day.
I have a corner of our living room for my writing space. So unless I kick out the boyfriend and the TV, and put a tent in the middle of the carpet. It's probably not going to happen. But I loved that when she did that. That was so cute. I loved it.
My daughter suggested I get one of those little tents that go over the couch or whatever for kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That I could do something like that, and just where you pop it up and pop it down, you know, it's easily, you know, and just sit in there with my laptop and but then I'm thinking, you know, I don't know. But if the weather permits this year, if the weather permits in April, we have everything ready to sort of do like a bonfire. And I'm going to roast marshmallows. I'm going to do it on a night Mr. Rockstar's off so he can use my fancy camera. And I have like a light that we could actually use. And I would like to get out where the bonfire is and do like a little bit of I don't know if I won't be able to do it live, but I'd like to be able to do like a chat a couple of times by the bonfire. And make it very campy feeling, you know?
That sounds like fun. We are going camping at the end of this month, which we were going to go camping in November, but we had to cancel because of my tooth. It's been going wrong all that time. So now the tooth's gone, pain's gone. I'm going camping. I can't wait. And I need to like tie up all my writing loose ends so that when we go camping, I could just relax and like not feel guilty that I'm not writing. But I'm excited. I'm so excited.
Oh,
we're going to this beach park that's like a few miles up the road. And it's just beautiful. It's so pretty. So pretty. And like there'll be other people camping too. It's not like a private area, but that's fine. Everyone's like kind of with their family and friends and doing their own things, occasionally chatting, but you know, it's just so pretty and it's so relaxing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be like crazy raining. If it does, I'm going it. We're going camping. So we will camp in the rain. There was one time that when we went camping and it rained, but it was bad because it started raining when we were setting up.
Oh,
now that sucks. And he was mad. Ooh, he was mad. And he was mad at me because for some reason I thought I was a princess. It shouldn't get wet. Oh, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. And there was bad move on my part. But it ended up being a good weekend afterwards, and I'll never be a princess again.
not that way.
Not that way.
Okay, so Crafted by Little Dragon said, tent, buy a hula hoop, hang it from the ceiling over the desk, and hang gauze curtains and some fairy lights on it. The bonfire sounds awesome. You know, the hula hoop with the yes.
Oh my gosh, that's totally workable.
Gauze, actually, yes. Yes, yes. That's something I'm going to have to definitely try. We're both looking up at our ceilings now. I'm thinking, like, how could I get that done? How could I do that?
Yeah, like, do you mind if I hang a hula hoop from the ceiling and put some
gauze
down so it looks like a tent? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. I'll explain later. I have the headphones on so he can't hear. So he heard like none of the conversation before this. So I'm just like throwing out there, hey, by the way, I'm going to hang some gauze from the ceiling.
I really like that idea. I like that
idea too. I think it's definitely doable. I was thinking about making a tent city and like, you know, and when you were a kid, you'd make like a tent city out of blankets. I was thinking about doing something like that.
I do that with Victor all the time. Oh my goodness. Half the time he spends the night with me, we end up making a tent somehow, somewhere, either in his room, the guest room that is his room, or in the living room. So, What I
After my
find,
little dragon said, make sure my pen and what I may need to reseal it. Good call. I'll have to check it out. What were you gonna say?
I was thinking if I put I don't need a. I was like, I don't need to water test it if it's in here. I've got big problems if I need to have a water in here. One of the things about camp that I find really helpful is that when my first camp, I learned a lot about myself as a writer. I was an overachiever. I went ahead and set my goals for 50,000, just like NaNoWriMo. And there's been like 1 or 2 camps where I've lost, even though I don't think of myself as having lost because I got writing done. But where I wasn't a winner. But what I do every time I do it is learn something new about myself as a writer. Because it is more laid back and it is more relaxed, you can loosen up some of the goals, because realistically speaking, I probably, when I am in the zone and I'm doing really well with daily writing, I write anywhere from 500 to 2,000 words a day. On a good day, it's 2,000. On a slow day or bad day, it might be 50 or 500, but I'm usually writing every day. Usually, used to. The past year or so, I have not. And I realized that one of the things that I could do this time around is choose a goal like 30,000 words, where that's about 1,000 words a day. I have thought about lowering it, and then I thought maybe I could do the 750 words. And then I'm like, realistically speaking, if I have good days and I write 2,000, maybe even 3,000, then that will make up for the bad days when I only write like 500. But you learn a lot about yourself as a writer when you are in a community and you're talking about your word count, helps hold yourself accountable. You're talking with other writers and you're talking about what's worked for you and how maybe you're feeling like nothing's working for you. And, you talk about some of your doubts or some of whatever it is that's going on with your writing. And one makes you feel not so alone, and you realize that there are other people out there that feel the same way. I know having writing buddies has been what has really saved me with my writing. I mean, and a lot of times that's one of the things that saved me from chunking the manuscript into the trash can and going,
It's really nice to be able to talk to people and realize that you're not alone and feeling like you're a failure or you're not doing so great or you're the worst writer in the world, TM. Like, and being reminded that, you know what, you're doing way better than you think you are. And like, stop being so hard on yourself. Because I feel like we're all our own worst critics. And sometimes we can be our best friends and our worst enemies. And, when you have people who have your back like that, it just makes it that much better. And then you can remember, okay, well, today wasn't that great. Or today I didn't do as much as I wanted to do. But tomorrow is going to happen, hopefully. And I can try again. And it's not over. It doesn't end because today wasn't as great as I wanted it to be. So yeah, having writing buddies has really been essential for me. Even when y'all say stuff I don't want to hear. And I'm like, leave me alone.
Okay. So Crafted by Little Dragons just said, don't trash them. I want to read the Burgess Witchy series and the cozy Tamara is working on.
Aww. I want you to read it too. And I want to read Witchy Business. In fact, I wrote Witchy Business in my cozy and that phrase. And I was like, Burgess. I was like, I said something about the aunt was up to some witchy business or something like that.
Yes.
So it's like an in code shout out to you that no one else will get.
There you go. You know, I think when you, for some people, I mean, a lot of times we compare ourselves to others, but there's the other side of that coin. When you have writing buddies and you see your writing buddy who you've been on this journey with, one of your writing buddies, and you have seen them and you've seen the struggle and y'all talked about it, you know, and then they do something so fabulous, like put out a newsletter with part 1 of a cozy mystery, and you're reading it and you're like, yes, and then shit, where's the rest? You know, I know, yes. See, it makes you feel, for me, it inspires me to get back to writing, but 2, it motivates me to say, you know what, I can do this. I can do this. I can get this done. You know, I can do this too. I can do it. And there's the positive side of the coin where a lot of people are like, well, you know, you can't compare yourself to others. If you're doing it in the negative way where you're comparing because, you know, this or that or the other, yes, it's not a good idea to ever compare yourself to others because we're all on our own journeys. But at the same time, we are also not alone in our journeys. You know, other people are on their own journeys, and those journeys are very similar. And we can, you know, in a positive way, help support each other and applaud when there are successes. And it makes us feel good for them and for us because, one, we're always happy when somebody that we care about does really well. You know, you want them to do well. And 2, you know that, hey, you know, we can do it. She did it. I did it. You can do it. Or she did it. I can do it. You know, that kind of thing. I think it really helps us as individuals.
I think so too. I think that it's important to find inspiration where you can. And at least speaking personally, I find a lot of inspiration with my friends and seeing what they're up to and what they're doing. Like Burgess kicks out so many videos all the time. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't made a video in a week. I really need to make a video. Burgess put out like 20 today. I need to make one. You know?
I could do 20 in a day if I wanted to.
It's like so I have it set so like when you post a video, it hits my email. So my email's like ping, Burgess, ping, Burgess. I'm like, okay, Tamara, make a video. Take this list of 30 video ideas that you have and pick one and go do it.
Yeah, but I got really burnt out for a while. With the coffee chat. But I was at a point where I had, do you know how long I've been doing coffee chats? I did my first one the first 6 months I was on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
So I've been doing, and it was a writer related coffee chat, but it was a coffee chat. It was a, you know, if we were having coffee, this is what we talk about. I tell you about how my writing's going. And, you know, I mean, as a, you know, it was a chronicle, like a video journal thing. But I got so burnt out with the ideas. And I happened to be talking to, like, for a few weeks in a row, I talked to a couple of people. And I was just in a conversation on a private message in Facebook. And somebody said something, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea for a coffee chat. And then I was asking some friends, I'm like, look, I don't have any, I can't think. I have nothing. The well is dry. You know, the well is dry. And I'm like, and then so we're just talking about the well being dry, and we're talking about creativity and blah, 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 and whatever. And then ideas come just from conversations. Sometimes the ideas for coffee chats come in the comments of videos that are my videos that other people comment about, like their comments. And then sometimes coffee chats are about issues that people bring up in videos that I watch on YouTube, or I'll read a comment in a video that I'm watching. and it will spark an idea for something else that's sort of related, 6 degrees of separation kind of thing. We have some comments.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, we have some comments.
Okay.
Oh, made in the SOS. She said she put a version of a writer friend character into her story.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, you got hearts on there, Tamara.
Yeah, I posted some hearts. I just wanted
I missed everything. I was too busy talking.
Crafted by Little Dragons likes your coffee chats, and she thinks that you do amazing videos. Who's been inspired to make a few herself. And the write-ins are kind of the same, but with writing too. Well, thank you.
One of the things about the write-ins, and I know that I could do these myself, but when I do the write-ins with Tamara, it always makes me feel like we're just two writers with a cup of coffee or a glass of wine or a glass of water or whatever it is we're drinking. And we're kind of sitting across from each other somewhere, library, a coffee shop, it doesn't matter where, the living room, it doesn't matter. And we're just kind of doing our write-ins and we're kind of chatting, and maybe sometimes some other people join in, and it's cool. And that's how I feel when I do the write-in with Tamara. That's why I prefer to do them with her rather than do them by myself. Because it gives me that vibe, you know?
It can be a little difficult to do them by yourself because you have to kind of like, now I'm getting to the point where I'm trying to have some ideas of just talking points in case the people who are watching aren't really chatting with me, so that I'm not just sitting in silence for 10 to 15 to 20 minutes in between the writing, you know. But I like to do them because, well, for one, I can't get up and go and clean the house and go to the grocery store and call my mom and check in with the math magician and do everything else but write when I'm sitting here in front of the camera. Like, I literally have to stay right here. So it kind of forces me to focus and do what I need to do. And it's fun. I don't know. I like to gab. I'm a gabby person. But because there's people who are writing with me, I have to get back to the writing. I can't just gab forever and then, oh no, I've wasted 2 hours and I was supposed to be writing. My bad. I guess I'll try tomorrow. No, if I'm sitting in front of this bad boy for 2 hours and chatting with all y'all, I know damn well that someone's going to be like, hey, Tamara, we're going to write tonight, or are you just going to talk about how delicious your coffee is? Because, you know, I have kids to put to bed. My show's about to start. Like, I have stuff to do. Let's get this writing going. Mm-hmm. So you guys y'all hold me accountable, which I really appreciate. And I'm glad that it works for you too. So it's like it's a good relationship.
I think I have done write-ins with other people. Like, I've done write-ins with the Word Nerds, and they're a lot of fun, especially during NaNoWriMo. I've participated in their write-ins, and I like the write-ins that other people do. I've participated in quite a few when they work really well with the time that I have. But what I find is I like like you said, 20 minutes is a really good time frame, you know, to do some writing, to do a word sprint, and it gives you enough time to get your head in it, to really get ideas going, and then, you know, to take a few minutes and kind of talk about your writing. You kind of hold yourself accountable with, hey, I got this many words done, or I got this much editing done, or whatever it is you're doing. This much of my outline done, or my character arc, or whatever. And you can, when you're not doing 20-minute word sprints all by yourself, having that interaction makes it, I don't know, it's fun, but it's a motivator. It's even past the inspiration thing. It's a motivator for you to go, okay, cool. I'm ready to write again, bro. Is it ready for us to do the 20-minute sprint again? You know what I mean? Because you're like, yes.
I like that. And within cabins, a lot of times people will say, hey, I'm going to be available around X time. Do y'all want to do word sprints with me then? So that's like a really fun, everyone is in the kind of write stuff that month. So sometimes, at least for me, if I want to do writing sprints and I don't see someone who's like either on my social media or in a group or something who's doing them at that time, I don't know. I don't have as much fun doing it by myself. It's just not as much fun, I guess. It's not as much fun. It's not as motivating. Instead of doing like a 20-minute sprint, I'll try to block off like an hour where I lock down my computer and my phone and try to do as much writing as possible. But even then, when it's just me and I'm holding myself accountable, I sometimes kind of drift away from the writing and do those other things that need doing, which I don't know. It's not really fair to me or my book, but at the time it doesn't feel like I'm really cheating myself. And then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh, I did it again. I was supposed to get this much stuff done today. I planned on that, but instead my house looks good. But
well, see, one of the things, I'm going to say something. We've got some comments if you want to glance at those, and I'll say something. One of the things that I've noticed is that since I'm doing videos, I'm chatting and things like that, if my, like, I try to think, okay, well, God, they're going to see this mess, and then instead of writing, I'm cleaning up the mess. And then I think, well, I get busy, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'm writing, and then I'm like, oh God, I forgot about, and then I go in the kitchen, or I go in the living room, or I go do whatever. And like you, I'm busy doing other things, because when it's just me, like Karen just said, it makes it way too easy to cheat and then do non-writing stuff. Way too easy.
Made in the SOS said we had role played with our characters to kind of flesh them out. They were so close that it made sense to include the relationship in the actual story. Because earlier they had mentioned that they had put a writing partner in their story. So to tie that together, let's see. And Sky says, I love the update on the Nano site that allows you to pre-set up writing sprints. I haven't checked the campsite to see if they do the same. You know what? I haven't either. I tried in case anyone doesn't know, on the NaNoWriMo site, there's this like little add-on thing that they put. I think it was either last year or the year before. It might have been the year before. I think it was the year before, but I just found out about it last year because I'm not always up to date with everything. But you're able to set up a writing sprint. So I did that a few times where I kind of tweeted out, hey, I'm going to be doing a writing sprint at X amount of for X amount of time. And then people can check in with your little thing, and you like do the writing sprint for 20, 30, whatever minutes. And then at the end of it, you kind of tell how many words you got for that sprint. So there's no real like chat in between or any kind of communication. It's just really a numbers game, but it was still fun. But when I did it on my Twitter, I didn't get a lot of response, but what is the name of the YouTuber? She did the NaNoWriMo song. What's her name? Christina
Horner.
Yeah, Christina Horner. I saw it for the first time on her Twitter, and her platform is much bigger than mine. So she had like a really good response, and it was pretty cool to see it. So, but yeah, I don't know if camp has anything like that right now. It might not, since camp's set up kind of different and the word count isn't like as big of a thing on there. Now I want to look.
Karen wants to know where those features are on the Nano site.
Oh, geez.
I've never used it. I don't know because I didn't know anything about it. So this is new to me.
I cannot remember right offhand because I haven't used it since November. I'm sorry. Let me see. I'm trying to sign in and look. Is it under the forums? Will I be able to see it right now?
Guy says she thinks there's a tab called Sprints.
Let me see.
She's going to go double check.
Under My NaNoWriMo, there is a tab called My Word Sprints. And so and under that word sprints, there's personal word sprints where you can do it by yourself, or there's group word sprints where you can add other people along for the journey. And I'm logging into Camp NaNoWriMo, and I'm not seeing anything about word sprints here. So I don't think that they have that option on the campsite. So there you go. Oof, I can't believe it's so close to camp. Wow. What's everyone going to be working on, or do you know what you're working on yet?
I am once again working on the Witchy Business series. One of these days, I am going to finish it, and it is going to be a NaNoWriMo, some kind of NaNoWriMo novel. I swear I'm going to get it done. My name is going to be on that little thing on the site that says this was a NaNoWriMo novel. Yes.
Whoop, whoop. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. My plan is to do 2 novellas during next month. And they're not going to be flushed out, of course, because my goal is like 70,000 words, and that's not, but if I want to at least have the major stuff down, and I'll be doing total just brain vomit on the page for both of them so that I can have some stuff to work with, and then for the next month or two to be fixing those up and getting them ready to publish for the summer. That's the goal.
Guy said, I'm going to interrupt you for a minute. Sky said, there you go. They made it so it's open all year round so you can use it with camp. She said she just wished they would add the feature to camp, at least make it so you can sprint with cabin members. That would be fantastic to be able to sprint with your cabin members. But we can use it. We just have to go to the NaNoWriMo website, I'm guessing, and not the camp website. So we can use the Nano site for the tool for that part. Yeah, for the tools.
Whoa, I have 153 messages on the NaNoWriMo site. What the hell?
Oh, mine was like that too.
Oh, what was that?
Mine was like that too. When I signed on, I was like, oh my God.
Whoops. Let's see. So on the camp site itself, you're able to add your projects, you're able to join cabins, and they have writing resources on there, and then they have the links to like the NaNoWriMo Twitter and Facebook, and there's a NaNoWriMo forum, and then of course there's the store and a spot for donations.
Okay, Persephone signed into the cabin. Woo! So Tamara, you still need to, if you're going to, unless you're going to do your own cabin again. I've got me and 4 other people in there so far. So I know some people said they wanted to. So yeah, I've got a bunch of email. I've got a bunch of mail too. Lord have mercy. My camp had almost 100, just deleted them all. Yeah, I'm going to have to go through and delete a bunch of my mail on there and just do my people who've asked to join as my buddy kind of thing.
Did you send me the?
There's no link. You have to just give me your. In the cabin on Facebook, I messaged everybody. I put a post out.
Oh, heck! I'm so terrible with Facebook. I'll look it up after this. I'm like, let me fix it now, but yeah, I'll make a note. But I wasn't sure if anyone wanted me to start a cabin or what. But if people ask me to start a cabin, then I'll take myself out of yours and make one.
Yeah, I can't remember how many people they allow in the cabins. Is it 10 or 11 or I can't remember.
I'm not sure. I feel like it's in the lower teens, like it's 10 or something, but I could be 100% wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It says up to 19 fellow writers.
Scott said 16, 19. We got all kinds of numbers.
It says a cabin is a writing group with up to 19 fellow writers.
There we go. Well, I've got plenty of room, y'all. Yeah, we're all guessing. I have a Camp NaNoWriMo. It's Burgess's NaNoWriMo cabin on Facebook. So if y'all want to join the Facebook group, some people wanted to do more stuff on Facebook. Some people don't do Facebook at all. So, I thought I'd kind of cover all the bases. Karen said she created a cabin for a local Thursday night writing group, or she'd join us. You would like to join? Yeah, you're more than welcome to, Natalie. Just join the Burgess NaNoWriMo cabin. It used to be the camp cabin. Like I had it specifically as a camp cabin, but I found that during NaNoWriMo, it was really beneficial because on the NaNoWriMo Facebook group, a lot of stuff gets lost with the people that you are friends with. You can't always see, what your friends are posting because there's so many people in that Facebook group. And I really wanted to see what my friends were posting about NaNoWriMo, and I can pull up the NaNoWriMo tag, but that usually it shows what's most popular, and you know how the analytics work for all this mess. It's not always, the most current or whatever. It's, so I just kind of wanted to have something where people could, and I'm much more likely to see it. Unlike most people, I don't get on Twitter except to do tweet chats or to tweet out things like videos or blog posts or whatever. I'm not really a Twitter person. I only do Twitter for the Right Stuff chats. So, I mean, other than to share stuff, I don't really read what's on Twitter other than Right Stuff.
I'm on Twitter all the time.
That was a tongue twister. Right Stuff.
Right Stuff happens every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, where writers talk about writing. So if you're not busy on Tuesday nights, come and join us. We'll be chatting about writing. But I'm always on Twitter. I'm on Twitter way more than I'm on Facebook. I find myself falling into like Twitter thread holes. And sometimes if it's political, I'm like yanking my hair out and being like, yelling, why are people like this? And my boyfriend's like, why are you reading that? I'm like, I don't know, but I'm so mad now.
Yes, Erica, you have to do the hashtag Right Stuff in each response or it won't show up.
Yeah.
It took me forever to get the hang of that. When I first started doing the Right Stuff tweet chats, ooh, that almost came out as a cuss word. But I had signed up for Twitter. I mean, I kind of knew a little bit about Twitter, but I was like, what am I doing, Tamara? Because I was so clueless. And I did the tweet deck. See, this tongue twister thing. My mouth is not healed well enough to do all this. I finally figured it out, and that made it a lot easier. But I am not. Twitter just goes too much. It's too fast. It's like constantly rolling, and you can't. They only allow you so many words, and I am not really a big fan of it.
I like it, and I end up seeing a lot of things that are trending, and I like to see what's happening in the bookish world. And they're, for book people to be so like solitary and quiet, or so is the stereotype. The book world on Twitter is always popping off. There's always some type of drama. People are mad every single day and going off about something. Like, my Lord, we're all problematic there. So, but it's interesting for me, at least, to check it out and see kind of what's trending and what people are talking about and what people are interested in. And I like to see how other authors are kind of getting themselves out there and getting their work out there and just building up their personas. Because I feel like I am not the best at shameless self-promotion, even though I try to promote other people to, I guess, get better at it than me. But it's hard for me. It's not something that comes naturally. So I like to see how other people do it, so I can try to emulate people who look like they're doing it successfully.
I tried to get like more knowledgeable about Twitter, but like Sky, my blog posts, my YouTube videos, that kind of stuff goes automatically to Twitter. I even have a Tumblr. Whatever I do, it goes automatically to Tumblr. I don't often go to Tumblr, and I guess it's my generation, or maybe it's because I know a lot of the younger people are actually going on Tumblr and all these things. I don't even know, like, people are talking about LinkedIn. I don't know what LinkedIn is. There's all these things out there, but I don't really know very much about them. I've gotten a little bit better about Instagram, and I've gotten a little bit better about Twitter. What I find so aggravating about Twitter is that things go by so fast, and I can put in a hashtag and I can kind of check a box and say if I want the most recent or the most popular. Are all of the posts about that hashtag. And I can do that, but I don't even know what hashtags to follow. I'm so like, I have no clue. And then every time I turn around, I'm getting bombarded with people wanting me to buy their book. And I'm like, yeah. I can't even look at what's on Twitter without the advertisements. So I'm like, oh yeah, I can't see what the writers are writing about in their tweet chats to catch up on things for being, I don't know.
I unfollow people who are just spam Twitter with their book ads. It's really bad form. It's not a good way to use the site, because in all honesty, when you're just talking about your book and your stuff that you're doing, people stop listening to you. They start tuning you out because you're not really adding any type of value to a conversation. It's just bad form. It's kind of like when you, someone follows you on Twitter, you follow them back, and they immediately send you the, hey, thanks for following me. How about you buy my book and sign up for my newsletter? And here's my website. And here's my latest YouTube video. Like, send you that immediate DM. And you're like, listen, who are you though? Like, we just met. Like, what's going on? This is like going directly from, hey, you want to go out with dinner with me? Sure. And now let's have sex. Like, what?
But you know what? Lately, Instagram and Facebook, I have been getting these random followers or messages from single men or widowed men or whatever, and I'm like, and they're crazy, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Do you know how much stuff I have deleted and blocked lately from Instagram and from Facebook with that crazy crap? I'm like, that's not why I'm on here.
On Instagram, aren't most of your photos like stuff of your journals?
Yeah, I mean, I have another I actually have two other Instagram accounts. I have one that was originally a personal one with just family, but I forgot the password and I can't get into it. So I created the other one, and I have one, and it was Romney. I thought I was posting to the Burgess Instagram, and I was posting to my personal one, journal pictures, and I forgot. I mean, I had both Instagrams, and they got all mixed up. So finally, I took the other one and made it it's more private. But I don't ever post it anymore because I don't. I mean, my daughter is always posting pictures of Victor, or and stuff like that. My nephews. They are following me on the Burgess Instagram. So every now and again, I'll put like a personal picture on Instagram, but not very often. Like I'll put mostly it's either Victor or all art journal writing stuff. I'm doing good to post to Instagram once a week. And usually when I do, I post 3 or 4 or 5 pictures all at one time. And then I'm like, okay, then I'm good. Because I don't use my phone for Instagram. I don't even have the Instagram app on my phone. I got it on there to sign up for Instagram, and then I got rid of it because it takes up too much space on my little cheap, dumb smartphone that I can't really keep that on there. I use my tablet and a computer app. It's called, what is it called? App for Instagram. Duh.
The last time I posted a picture on Instagram was February 27th. But I'll post on my Instagram stories. I post there like all the time, like every day, every other day. I post there frequently because I feel like I could just say a quick thing and post it on the story. Whereas with like the Instagram, like my profile page, whatever I post there kind of lives on for infamy. And so I don't want to just post like a stupid Snapchat filter picture where I'm like, oh my gosh, writing's killing me. And then like post that, I don't want to put that on the profile.
I watch other people's stories on Instagram, but I haven't figured really out how to do them. I've done it twice, but it's for 15 seconds or something like that. Do you know how hard it is for me to do anything for 15 seconds?
You just like
I say, hey y'all, and that's 15 seconds. Or it feels like it anyway.
You have to like break it up. It is weird. It's like a weird way that you have to kind of think it out of how you're going to say something in like little broken down segments. So I don't know if there is a way to take a longer video. It's like, let's say something that's like 30 seconds and then automatically chop it up for Instagram or something. Because when I try, Snapchat has, I think you could do 6 different snaps and it's like 9 seconds each or something. And you can download that to your camera and then upload it to Instagram, but Instagram will only post like the first snippet. It's annoying. I was going to show you my new journal, but
I'm going to have to figure out how to do Instagram stories because on Patreon, you can do those little clips for your patrons. Hello, Dorothea. You can do the little clips on Patreon now. And I really would like to do that more for my pick, but I've done it. I think I did it once or twice, but I didn't realize it could only be 15 seconds. So then I'm like, what the hell? I had to actually go into my video editing software and edit it down to 15 seconds. I was like, because I had it, I think it was 20 seconds. And I was like, oh, crap.
Well, so I was going to show you my new journal, but I think it's in the bedroom. Hey. But I've had the new journal for a couple weeks, and I keep wanting to take a picture of it for Instagram. But I'm a terrible photographer. I'm just not good at it. It's nothing that I've ever been good at. And they're so pretty that I want to put like this stunning photo on Instagram. I'm like, oh man, I suck at this so bad. And I tried and they looked awful. I was like, disappointment all around.
The trick to taking a pretty picture, and I figured, well, I'm not a professional. I'm not a professional. But I had someone tell me, take a piece of scrapbook paper or a piece of, your regular copy paper that you put in your printer. Mm-hmm. Sit it down, makes whatever, if you're putting something on it, that's not bigger than that. So that the white, it will make it brighter. It will show up better. Sit your object on that piece of white paper, however big your white piece of paper needs to be. Sit it on the piece of white paper and take a picture. And then you can go into any one of those cute little app things that you can get for your phone or your tablet or whatever. And you can go in and adjust and edit and fix the lighting and fix the contrast and fix all that cute little stuff that you can do to make it a prettier picture. Karen said, do you ladies realize that between all of us, we have all the knowledge, just none of us knows all of it. We need to trade teaching each other. Scott says she has a white poster board. She says maybe she'll try that trick. Yes, that's what I used to use a lot on my craft table, was a white poster board. Or I had this really big white drawing pad that my daughter left here, but Victor got a hold of and drew on almost every piece of paper on it. Now I have nothing on here. I had some white scrapbook paper. I like the red desk, using the desk behind me to take photos because I like the red, but it does show better color, more true color when you use white. That's why you see so many people on YouTube and so many people on Instagram and so many people everywhere that have white everything in their videos and white desktops and white everything, because it shows up better on camera, whether you're filming or taking pictures.
What social media accounts do y'all tend to use? We've talked about our favorites. What are your favorites? Totally okay, going to be random here. I just started up Scrivener on my new PC with my new monitor. I used to run it at 200% to see it well enough on my old monitor. I go, OMG, this is huge. The Math Magician absolutely hates it when I use his computer because I make stuff big. I just have to. And he has his font so tiny. I'm like, how do you even see that?
So Crafted with Dragons by Little Dragons. I think that's Erica. So she doesn't like any of them, but her family's on Facebook, so she's stuck with it. Sherry likes Instagram and Facebook. Karen likes YouTube and Facebook, but not even those much. Sherry said she can't stand Twitter for some. I'm not a big Twitter fan. I only use Twitter for Tamara, really, for the tweet chat stuff. And just because I do need to use it, I just don't like it. Facebook and Twitter, Natalie said. Facebook page for my writing, but don't really use that, but use Facebook in general. Tumblr and Instagram for writing. Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All the bigger YouTubers have white furniture in their homes, and I'm just sitting there staring with huge eyes. Yes, Facebook and YouTube. I'm a Facebook, YouTube. I like Instagram. I like looking at all the pictures, but I really wish they would do a better job with Instagram so that you actually saw stuff you were interested in, not the most popular. Dorothea said she's still in prehistoric times. Facebook and Twitter, can't do Instagram. And of course, YouTube, Sherry said. And Karen said she's trying to get the hang of Twitter for Alex and Tamara, but not getting it.
Should I do a Twitter video or something, or a blog post? Maybe a blog post. All right, I'll do a blog post about Twitter.
I think you ought to do a video about Twitter.
I don't know if
that's something you could do on screen. Can't you do that thing where you show what's on your screen so you show people how to use Twitter?
Yeah, but I don't know how many people who watch my videos in general aren't well equipped for Twitter. And if I do it in my blog, I can like take screenshots.
Okay, well, you could do it in your blog. Do it on your blog. That we need to post on our blogs more often anyway. So yay, yay, yay. Blog post about Twitter, because I need to watch this. I need to read this. I need to, whatever it is you do, I need to pay attention to, because I suck at Twitter.
All right, this week I'm going to do that.
Sherry said she has a Twitter account, but she'll have to join Tamara. Yeah. Guy said, do either of you do screen share? How do you guys do that? Like, what program do you use for it? It's always boggled my mind. Cyberlink Power Director has a screen share thing, and I think that's what Tamara uses. And I know there was a way you could do it. I used to have something that did it a lot better, but that was on the old computer. When I got the new computer, I couldn't remember where I got it from, because the screen share thing I can take a picture with now is different, and I don't like it. So...
yeah, were you meeting, Sky, were you meeting on live streams or during recording regular videos, or what did you mean? Dorothea, who could help you to get into Instagram? Not me. Instagram is not my platform. I am not good with it.
Not me.
Like I said, I use it just to like post things on Insta stories, which is you could post like snippet videos and little pictures and stuff like that, and then it has like a 24-hour lifespan on the platform, and then it disappears.
I know in order to use Twitter, you either have to have a tablet or a phone, because it's only a mobile app. So the only way to get Instagram to start with is to be able to do the mobile app, which will only work on a phone or a tablet. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get me some coffee.
Okay. So with Instagram, like I said, I generally use Instagram stories, but to actually post on the site under my profile, I don't do that as much. And I don't really use that as part of my author platform. I just kind of use it as a way to keep in touch with people and check out cool pictures. So I use Twitter a lot more, probably too much. So that's why I'm going to do a blog post about it, because I just use Twitter a hell of a lot more than I do Instagram. Recording videos or live streams, actually. I know on my own channel, I've had people ask how I do things. If I can't explain it well enough, it would be easier to show them. Well, yeah, with screen share, when I'm doing videos, I use Cyberlink Power Director, and there's just like there's a thing, icon you can click that's like screen capture, and then it captures the screen, whatever I'm doing on there. With live streaming, I think that there is a way to do it through Google Hangout, but I never do it, so I don't really know how. Sorry, Sky. Natalie says you can use Grambler to upload to Instagram. And Dorothea says, I know, but my mobile app refuses to let me in almost always. Are you able to change your password or something? Is that what's the issue there? And let's see. Sherry, definitely join. Write Stuff. We have the Twitter chat on Tuesdays, and then we have a Facebook group. So the Twitter chat happened way before the Facebook group. I've been doing that for 3 years or something like that. Very long time in social media time, you know. And I started the Facebook group. First, I started a Google Plus group because everyone voted for me to start a Google Plus group. So I did. And then, I mean, do you use Google Plus anymore? Because I don't. I don't think anyone really does. So since that kind of tanked, I started the Facebook group instead. And in the Facebook group, we check in with goals. We share it, like share stuff, share our goals. We share our posts and things like that. Ask questions. I try to share articles I find about books and writing that I think are interesting. And yeah, it's a small group, but we're slowly building up, slowly adding new members. It's pretty cool. I like it. I feel like I'm doing good to just go back and read what I missed on Tuesday for the tweet chats. I hear you, Karen. Since I generally use Premiere Pro, maybe I'll see if there's a similar option. It's worth looking into at least. Thanks. You're welcome, Sky. I hope there is. I figure there is. 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Right Stuff. It's cool that now the chat's going to upload with the video so people can see what I'm talking about when I look at the chat, whereas before I had to read every single thing so that it would make sense. That's nice. Good job, YouTube. You did something right. What kind of coffee are you drinking?
I have a homemade white chocolate mocha like they do at Starbucks. I make them myself. Here, hold on, I'll see if I can find the link. I won't be able to put it in here though, but I can give you the name, but it won't let me do the link. So this is what it's under.
Let's see. So we have been streaming for
longer than okay, Sherry.
So it's been about so we've been streaming for about an hour and a half. Do y'all want to do some writing sprints? Maybe finish out with a writing sprint, and then unless do y'all have any other questions about social media, Camp NaNoWriMo, where I got this head wrap, which was Ross's. Let us know, and then maybe we could do a writing sprint or two and call it a night. I figure it's starting to get late over your way. It's still bright and early over here. Oh my gosh.
Well, it's almost 9 o'clock here, but I'm good. I love the head wrap.
Thank you.
I had a friend who used to have really curly hair like mine, and she would oftentimes wrap up her hair for in the wintertime, like when she would go out, like, you know, and it looks so cute. She used all different kinds of scarves and stuff, and I have never been able to figure out how to get all my hair up in a wrap like that.
I literally looked at YouTube videos. That's kind of how I have learned how to do everything in my adult life. So a friend of mine, Brandy, she used to live in Turkey, and she lived there for a couple years. And then when she moved back, she was always wearing her hair up in like these awesome head wraps. And I was like, wow, how do you do that? And then she started like sliding me YouTube videos of how-tos. And I was like, I think I could do the more simpler ones. I think I could do that. And nowadays I just kind of do something, and if it stays, I call it good. So this one stayed, so hey, it works for me.
I love YouTube. My husband watches YouTube to figure out how to fix the car, to figure out how to fix all kinds of different things. I watch YouTube for DIY stuff for the house, for all kinds of stuff. I'd have to say that out of my favorite go down the rabbit hole social media sites, it would be YouTube and Facebook, because Facebook to me is much easier to navigate than some of the others. But I love some of Instagram is I have a love-hate relationship with Instagram. I love the pictures. I love the real stuff that people put on. Not a big fan of the fake looking stuff. You know, and I know a lot of people use it to sell stuff. Instagram keeps asking me to switch my Instagram to a business one. I'm like, no. But I need to get the hang of Twitter, but I love YouTube. I don't like some of the issues that we've had with YouTube, but as a platform, the things that YouTube has available, the creators that are on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, I love YouTube. I love how open it is for creators for the most part. Now, I'm not going to get into the things that haven't made me happy about YouTube, but I love YouTube. I like Twitch. You can listen to music while you're on Twitch, while you're actually live on Twitch. I'm on Twitch, but I haven't done anything on Twitch. It's complicated. It's more for gamers, for techie people, and I am not a techie person. So I have no clue what I'm doing, what to even do over there. But
there's a few writers who are on Twitch, and they'll stream and do write-ins and stuff. And then there's some people who will they'll write while they're streaming, and then everyone can see what they're writing, and they like kind of write it together. And there's people who do that too with drawing. I like the idea of Twitch, and I have a profile on there that has like nothing on it, but I basically just watch people do their thing. Just like with you now, I have a profile, but nothing's on it. I just kind of watch other people stream.
I don't even know what now is. I keep seeing stuff for that, but I don't even know what it is.
It's an app where you can stream, and like, you know how YouTube added the thing where people can like give you tips and stuff.
Yeah.
They got that from YouNow. On YouNow, people can like give you different types of tips and stuff, and it's like they basically can show that they're a fan by tipping you out so much in your tip jar and stuff like that. But it's basically just streaming. But I feel like the people who are on YouNow are much younger than me, and I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of people who are my age, and you know, I don't know if I speak quick enough and have enough like of the useful vernacular to hold people's attention.
That's the whole thing. That was the whole thing with Snapchat and Periscope for me. One, there were too many trolls on Snapchat and Periscope, and two, Periscope not as much as Snapchat, but there were so many of the younger people. Sherry said she plays World of Warcraft, so she likes watching them on Twitch for gaming, and she also watches Bailey J, the artist, do her art in real time. I like Bailey J. I'm actually subscribed to Bailey J on Twitch. I like watching the people on Twitch, and I would like to eventually do Twitch, but until I can figure out how to use OBS, which is, I think, the coding thing that you have to do to go live and stuff like that, once I can learn how to do something other than Google Hangouts to go live, I'll be able to do that. I need to get another webcam, and I need to get something, because where my tower is set up now that I've rearranged things, I cannot do the webcam. The cord's not long enough for me to put it right here anymore. So I'd have to do it right here in front of where my keyboard sits. I'd have to actually do like journaling or whatever. So I don't know how I would do that now. There has to be some kind of adapter for a longer to hook to a USB to do the cordy thing. You know, I'm thinking I'll just go search on Amazon for adapters for USBs. I don't know, but I know there's got to be a way to do it. But I'm thinking a second webcam and just hook it to my laptop, something. I don't know. I know that there are things that you can plug a bunch of USBs into, and there's also this video thing for live streaming, a little box where you can do multiple cameras, but a lot of that stuff costs money. And yeah, you know, and then there's the whole USB extension cord. Yes, that's what I need. There's the whole issue of how much do I really want to invest until I get to a place where I have a much higher subscriber count, or, you know, whatever, because I can't afford to get all those things. And then there's the learning curve of learning how to do all that stuff. You know, I like the beginner videos on YouTube where they talk about things like for newbies, for real beginners. Like, how do you edit a video for somebody who's never even been in video editing software? You know, and they assume that everybody knows how to do all of this stuff, or that we know what it is, and not all of us do know what it is. Shannon says she thinks she only paid about $6 for her USB extension cord on Amazon. Cool. I need one of those. I need another webcam, and I guess I need 2 USB extension cords. But you know, that's the whole thing with social media, is especially if you are making a living off of something that requires you to advertise or market yourself from social media, or that your work is actually on social media, via social media. Writers, if you are self-publishing, you have to have social media, because that's how you're going to market and advertise yourself.
So let's see. Made in the SOS, suggestions / recommendations for writing family drama. What do you mean by writing family drama? Do you mean writing like dramatic interactions between family members? Do you mean kind of like a more dramatic storyline on the lines of a soap opera? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry. Sky says, I have a Twitch account. I think my husband and I have a family Amazon account that was originally mine, and he linked Twitch from it. But I don't know if it's a joint account like Amazon or his. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I linked my Amazon Prime to Twitch. You're supposed to be able to, once you get to a certain level on Twitch, if you're creating videos, live streaming and stuff, make money from it, like through Amazon affiliate money. But I don't know. I don't know.
You know, I thought that I maybe had made a post before about Twitter on my blog, penpaperpad.com, but I can't find anything, so maybe not. Anyway, did y'all want to do some writing sprints or no? Let me know in the comments if you want to do a writing sprint.
I cleaned my notebook cover after spilling coffee on it last night. It is now clean.
Snoopy. What the hell? I've been locked out of my blog? All right, well, I'm just going to go ahead and close this and worry about this later. What the hell? I wonder if someone was...
Sherry said she's set for a writing sprint. Yes, Sky, more research for me too, because there are a lot of things I would like to do, but the learning curve for some of that for me is just like, oh my God. So I'll just continue to watch people live on Twitch. And then once I get my own video and photo editing software learned, then I'll go to the next. Okay, what can I do now? What next thing can I learn?
It's all a journey. Definitely not a sprint. And there's always something new cropping up, so you never know what's going to be coming around the corner. Like that new app, Vivo, that everyone jumped on board with for a second, and now I think it's immediately no one's using it anymore. It was like popular for a week.
Well, it crashed because so many people were trying to get on it. I tried to sign up for it on my phone and on the tablet, and it wouldn't let me do either one.
But they've updated their OS now, so it's a much more stable platform and it's working better. But with the people that I was following and even just looking at different like writing hashtags and stuff, no one's really updating it. So it's like there was like a week where it was like the hot thing and everyone was going for it, and then that was it.
Yeah, I saw a bunch, and I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, what is it? Wait a minute. So then I'm going on Google to look up everything. With everything going on with YouTube, I've been seriously thinking of switching to Twitch, especially since I game on the PS4 as well. That uploads to YouTube now, but I can switch it to Twitch. And Sky said she's also up for Sprint. So Sherry said she's up for Sprint. Sky's up for Sprint. So we've got a couple of people.
All right, so let's sprint at 10 after for 20 minutes.
Good. We got 3 minutes. Amber said she's here now. She got off work early. Yay.
Hi, Amber. Excellent, excellent. We're going to sprint at 10 after, Amber, in case you missed it.
Woo! Clean and Sprint is cool. Do we have a prompt? By the way, on the family drama question, might want to look at reading John Jakes. Some people call it generational. Karen said she's up just enough time for her to open up her Word document. Open up her document. Cool. I don't know. I'm going to have to look up that. John Jakes. Generational. I like that idea. I don't know. When I think about family drama, the immediate person that comes to mind for me was like Danielle Steele. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't really have any advice on writing family dramas. I don't really do that in my writing per se. But maybe the SOS didn't respond, so I don't know if they're still here or not. Callie Angel, nope, there's not going to be a prompt. Usually I'll have some prompts available if I'm doing prompts, but tonight we're probably just going to do 1 or 2 sprints, so no prompts tonight. Just free writing on whatever you're writing or whatever you're doing. If you're not writing and maybe you're journaling or planning your week or what have you.
I'm summarizing my chapters for outlining purposes. He wrote North and South. Yeah, I know the name. It's a Civil War saga. Yeah, I knew the name, but I mean, I was thinking something. I don't know. I was trying to think of if there was something else that, but I don't think I've read anything of John Jakes other than North and South.
So let me go ahead and Google John Jakes because I don't know anything about him.
I read North and South though, and I watched the movie like I don't know how many times.
Well, giving a quick glance at his books, I don't think I've read anything of his. No, this doesn't look like where I live in terms of my books. I haven't read North and South either. I've heard of it, but it just hasn't came across my desk yet. Today I'm working. Sky says today I'm working on my Baba Yaga short story again. Got 4.5K more to write before I can edit and submit at the end of the month. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. All right, it is 10 after. So let's start our 20-minute writing sprint. And write as many words as you can. Enjoy yourself, and then let's chat in 20 minutes about how it went. So on your mark, get set, go. My phone's dead, so I'm just doing it on my computer. Normally I show you. Time's up. It's been 20 minutes of pure D writing satisfaction. How'd y'all do? I was editing this chapter of Blood Roses and Honeysuckles, this freaking book that just never ends. But I have 4 more chapters in part 1 to go over, and I think I need to add 1 or 2 chapters to it, and then that part will be done. So I'm hoping that I can finish that tonight. Because it's still early here. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon, so I have a lot of time to work on it.
I got about 240 words written, but I had to stop for a moment and look up something. So not too bad, not too bad. I like the idea that I've hit. I've got to do some research, but I really do like the idea. Callie Angel said Vampire Diaries and Supernatural could be family-oriented too. If you think about it, Vampire Diaries, the book series, most definitely. Supernatural TV series, yes. There are quite a few other book series that they've made television shows or movies out of that could be family as in generational. I just thought about the book The Thorn Birds, which is a really old book, that kind of family saga kind of thing. Working on settings tonight, wrote 213 words, but was late starting as I had to get dinner going. Natalie wrote, I was researching fonts, trying to find what font is best for books. Sky wrote 576 words, and Sherry did about 200 words and brainstormed for the title. Titles are hard.
Amber did 201, but had to reread since she hadn't written in a month and a half. 201 is not bad, especially since you haven't been writing. Way to go. Way to go with getting back on there, getting into it. I'm terrible with titles. I don't do very well with titles. I don't do well with naming characters. I remember during NaNoWriMo, I was doing word sprints during someone's live stream, and I said that I hadn't named my characters yet, and I had like 30,000 words written. They were like, what? You haven't named your characters? I'm like, no, I hate naming characters. It's just, I don't know, it's something that I tend to push off for as long as possible until the thing kind of, I don't know, like the names kind of come up themselves. I don't have to really think about it much. What are you doing?
I have trouble with characters. Like some characters' names just automatically come to me.
Do you want to say hi to the stream?
And then there are other characters. Hello, Mr. Math Magician.
Everyone says hi.
Other times, there are characters' names that just automatically come to me. And then there are times when other times I just don't have a clue. And I keep trying different names and they don't fit.
Sometimes I'll look up like baby names and stuff on websites, and there's been other times where I have asked people on Twitter, and once I asked people on my newsletter to name a bar, so that was pretty cool. Also, by the way, I have this newsletter. Links in the description if you want to join it. I have a short story that's a serial that the first part happened, when was that? Oh, last month, at the end of last month. So at the end of each month, there will be another part, and it's a cozy mystery, and it's fun, and I hope you like it, and you should subscribe, and that's it for my self-promotion.
It's really good.
Thank you. I hope that everyone continues to enjoy it. My plan is at the end, I want to put it together as like an ebook for anyone who wants it, and it'll just be like a little freebie. But I don't know. It's going to be fun. I've got some ideas.
But you could also, I mean, it could be one of those like 99 cent things on Amazon.
I'm gonna use it as a perma-free thing, so that I can then for anyone who is new and hasn't subscribed to my newsletter, it'll be like the magnet. I think that's what it's called. When you have like a free thing, you're like, hey, here's this free thing. You should join my newsletter. So
Shannon says she's ready for the next part of the story in the newsletter. And Natalie says James Patterson apparently looks at the credits of a movie and writes down interesting names from it for books. He said so in his masterclass. You could do a YouTube audio book too. Somebody suggested a couple years ago, Sky did a Google form poll because she had a character she needed to give a name to, a new name, so she couldn't have the same name as a famous author, and that worked well.
That's fun. I haven't done anything like that before.
I look at names on credits in shows, especially stuff on Netflix and Hulu, because I can, you know, when I'm watching it myself at home and I can pause and I can actually look at stuff, it's really helpful, I think, to do that kind of thing, you know, to look up names. I see lots of names. Like I saw one earlier that was a really cool name, and I was like, yes, I'm going to use that name.
I've never thought of doing that before. I'll have to start paying more attention. Because we're definitely people, if we go, especially if like we go to the movies, you know, well, we're the kind that stay till the end of the credits. So I'm looking at them. I might as well pay more attention to the actual names. Never thought to do that. It's a good idea.
Shannon uses a random name generator and mixes them up even more. I do the name generator thing in Scrivener. I use for origins, like to pull up Celtic names or, you know, Irish names. I've pulled up French names, you know, different character. Like, so I've got a character who's like from this cultural background, and I'll pull up names, and a lot of times I'll find a name that way.
I've used, since all of my characters are from, in one way or another, from West Virginia, not all of them, but a big portion, then I've used this website that has surnames from West Virginia. So I've gone through and looked up last names because I wanted it to be kind of authentic, but I didn't want to necessarily use all the last names of people that I know. So I don't want them to think that I'm somehow writing about them, you know?
I've got to find a name that works, because the one book I'm writing, the actual book called The Curse, that's about the family curse, it is based on a true story, inspired from a true story. And I don't know, you know, this lady named the book what I would have named my book. So I can't use it. And even though that's my family name, I can't use it because she's already named a book that.
Aw.
Yeah, there's a book called The Burgess Boys or something like that. And so, yeah, my name is, yeah. And I'm like, damn it. You know, because I don't know. And then I think, well, as the author, you know, I don't know. Cassandra Clare kind of did that. She did a play off of her name when she named Clary. You know, I mean, the author's name is Cassandra Clare.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the main characters in the story is called Clary. But you know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to use my last name. I'm trying. Yeah, titles cannot be copyrighted. You don't want to. I thought about doing it my whole life. It's been called The Burgess Curse. And that was what I was going to title. Then I got thinking, well, my name is going to be on there. Do I really want to call it The Burgess Curse? And then I'm thinking of all the other last names, first name, last names that I could use that, you know, because some of us get named our last names, like our mother's maiden names or father's. That's actually, Burgess is actually my maiden name. But it's my middle name now. So I don't know. Trying to come up with a last name for that whole story has been really. I still don't have it, but that's not the story I'm working on right now. But it's a bit, can be a bit problematic, I think, sometimes. So I need to come up with a Scottish name that, because Burgess means like a certain thing. It actually has a meaning, and I'm like, oh man, what do I want to do here? The typewriter behind you, I want one, but don't know the brand I want yet. That one is actually a Royal. The little red one on the other side of the desk is a Wentworth, and it's a child's typewriter. You can see it behind me. I've had the little tiny red one since I was a little kid. The Royal typewriter was to replace a Smith Corona that I had that was given to me by my aunt, but it broke in a move. I found one that's the teal color that I want to sit in the middle of that desk. I just can't afford to buy it yet.
My mom has one that is incredibly old, and it still has like the old school ribbon that you'd have to put in and tighten it up. But it's the kind that has like the suitcase cover to it, and it's what color? It's like this color. Oh, that looks different on screen. Okay, this is green, more greenish than blue, and the keys to it are white. And I don't think in my lifetime it's ever worked, but I remember being little and I would like sit and peck at it because I liked the sound it made. And that was like 4-year-old Tamara, and nothing has changed. I still love that sound. It sounds so good.
That one actually works, and it has the suitcase that it goes in. The suitcase is in the closet in the purple room. That is a manual typewriter, not an electric. Mr. Rockstar gave that to me last year. It was a present. It is heavy. It is heavy, and it really works. And I did a NaNoWriMo video a few years back, a year or two ago, last year maybe. I think I got that 2 years ago. But it actually works. I do use it on occasion. I do type out quotes or whatever that I want to put in my journal pages. I just got in some real onion skin paper to use with the typewriter.
I remember that.
I do use it. I had these when I was in high school in 9th grade taking typewriting. We had to take and I learned how to write on a manual and then an electric. There was no keyboarding when I was in high school. There wasn't even a keyboarding class. And I learned how to write. I learned how to type old school. So like if you messed up, you messed up. You had errors, you had to use one of those little eraser things that had the fan thing at the end of it. All my research papers and everything. I do have the ribbons and the ink, the red and black that you do twist that you put in there. It does work. The little kid one works too, and Mr. Victor has been begging me to use it, but I won't let him because I've had it since I was a kid, which is why I've actually considered getting a used word processor, whether it works or not, from like a thrift store somewhere for him to play with. For now, he's got an old computer keyboard that he plays on and writes with. He pretends he is at the computer or whatever.
I learned to type on a typewriter as well, and I didn't actually own a computer until I bought one after college. I had one and lost it. Now I want another one. I don't know. A typewriter.
A lot of people only want to get the Smith Corona, but there are a lot of other brands. Remington. There were a lot of other brands. I think it's Remington. It's Royal and a bunch of other brands that did typewriters. So don't think that only the Smith Corona is the only one that, that's the one that a lot of people want to get because of the pictures. But that's a Royal. There were a lot of, and if you want to decide whether you want a manual one or an electric one, because if you've never typed on a real typewriter, and I'm talking a real manual typewriter, you need to go ahead and strengthen your finger muscles, because it's hard to, it's a lot different typing on a real typewriter than a keyboard for a computer, even the ones that make it sound like a computer, like a typewriter.
Yeah, it's definitely different. Let's see. So we are coming up on 3 hours now.
Yeah. We could actually do a 15, maybe a 10 if you wanted to. We don't have much time to do we don't have enough time to do a really 20-minute chat. I mean, write in.
I'm looking at the chat. Sky says, I had an electric one. I don't remember what brand in my early teens, but it broke in a move and I don't have it anymore. Callie, I learned to type old school, manual and electric. Crafted by Little Dragons. I used them in middle school when the computer lab had failed. I don't really want to do a 10-minute writing sprint because I don't.
Yeah, I don't either.
It doesn't do much for me. It's like as soon as I feel like I'm getting into a groove, then the timer goes off.
Natalie said her mother could touch type 65 words a minute on a typewriter. On a real typewriter, when I graduated from high school, I could type about right at 60-something words a minute with like 3 errors. That was how fast I typed in high school on a. Now, half of that was an electric typewriter. I could probably type about 40, 45 words on a manual typewriter, but I could type a lot faster on an electric typewriter. I actually prefer a typewriter, an electric one. My manual one is wonderful. I love my manual one. If ever we have, like, you know, the apocalypse, I've got extra paper. I can write my novel right there on my typewriter, old school. No problem. I don't need electricity. I got pens and paper. I can journal and create art. I don't need technology to do my hobbies, you know? So I'm good to go if we ever have the apocalypse. But I have to say that the next typewriter I get, I actually want to get an electric one. I want to get an electric one. I type a lot faster on electric than I do on a manual, and my fingers are not, the muscles in them are not like they used to be, because now I do so much stuff on the computer. So when I got the typewriter, I was like, oh my God, I forgot how hard this was when you haven't done it for a while. So 65 words in a minute on a manual typewriter is kicking butt. Your mom kicks butt.
I want to really unplug it just right, says Amber. I hear you. I hear you on that. Let's see. So do y'all have any other thoughts, opinions, questions about Camp NaNoWriMo? Because that was kind of the point of this, even though, you know, us, we're going to talk about all sorts of everything that pops up. But if you have any other thoughts, questions, ideas, what have you, let us know in the comments, because we should be wrapping this up pretty soon.
Yeah.
We've been chatting for a while now.
I think it was really good, though, to talk about the different social medias, because it gives people an idea of what other people are actually doing, what social media things they prefer. And a lot of us don't know that much about some of them, you know?
And it's really important to remember that you don't have to do everything. In fact, it's not helpful to do all of it, because it takes way too much time. It takes a lot of effort. And if you're not, like, let's say, a social media persona of some sort, it's not really beneficial to try to do all of the different social media apps and then kind of be half-assed at it because you don't have enough time to really devote to each and every one of them. Find the one or two that you really enjoy and focus your energy on those, and then really grow your platform from it. At least that's the advice that I've read, and I think that it makes sense.
The one we didn't talk about was Pinterest.
You know, with Writing, I'm not sure if Pinterest is as big. I know that with people who have um, blogs that are kind of photo related, so let's say like food blogs, um, travel blogs, stuff like that, where they have like the big, beautiful photos that look really good on Pinterest. I know that they use Pinterest to like kind of push themselves out there more, and it can be really successful that way. But my blog personally isn't as image focused. So sometimes I post things on Pinterest, like I'll post writing videos. I have a Pinterest board that's just for writing and things like that, but I don't really think of it as part of my marketing plan. I just try to find like cool stuff and I use it more as like a memory board for me. So if I found a cool recipe, I know to go back to like my dinner delights board so I can find it later, you know.
I use Pinterest for writing. I look up writing tips and I put in writing tips and I found blog posts that way, but the majority of it is no, not really. It's not really. I mean, if you're looking to advertise yourself as an author for a book, not so much. But if you're a blogger, then yeah, I think so. You know, and it is definitely good. You're right, Kylie, for brainstorming and inspiration and ideas for cover designs. It's great for storyboards, to create a visual storyboard of like people who look like your characters, or setting stuff and all different kinds of things. I think so, but
I've mentioned before it's supposed to be a storyboard, but I'm more just pin stuff that's relates to a character or story that is made in the SOS. And Sky uses Pinterest for collecting story ideas and to get a bunch of similar covers to send to the cover designer for ideas I'm looking for. Crafted by Little Dragons avoids Pinterest. They get lost and never get any work done. I totally understand that because Pinterest could definitely be a mind suck. Or time suck? Do you remember when everyone was using Pinterest and talking about it all the time? Like Pinterest was the thing. Like everyone was talking about Pinterest. Everybody was using it. And I still, like I said, I still use it, but it's like, I don't know, it's more of like an afterthought now. I don't really think of it as like a deliberate thing where I'm trying to promote myself. I like using the sections or category feature, whatever it is, where you can further divide a given board. So I'll have a board for a story and then a section for each character on it.
Well, I haven't gotten that far. I didn't know you could do that. So now I got to go in and change some things around on mine. That's a good idea, Natalie.
To pin the cover to Pinterest so that people can go back to the Amazon link. Yeah, I have it. I've done that with my books, but the thing about it is that I can't really tell if Pinterest has been a lead-in for anything. So I don't know. But I don't really do storyboards and like character inspiration boards or setting inspiration boards. But I know a lot of people enjoy doing that, but that's just never been really part of my writing experience.
I do that. I've done them analog on like a poster board, a vision board, storyboard. I've done both, a vision board and a storyboard. I've combined the two, and then I've done them on Pinterest. So I have both different ways. The storyboard, when you do it on that big, the trifold poster board kind of thing, it takes up a lot of room. And although I'm normally a fan of pen and paper, real analog stuff, I found that it's a lot easier for me to do my storyboarding with Post-it notes in my notebook, or Post-it notes, you know, like using that part in Scrivener now more, and actually doing a Pinterest board than it is for me to have that bulky trifold, you know, thing. I don't know. It's easier.
I think for the cozy, since I am going to do, it's going to be like a multiple book series. It isn't just going to be a trilogy like Blood Roses. I think that I'm going to create some type of like story Bible for it or whatever. But if I'm just doing a one-off book or even with just a trilogy, I feel like if I devote that much time and energy to creating all these different things, that it just takes time away from me writing the story and editing and doing the marketing and all that stuff. I just can't, like, I don't know, I only have so much energy, I guess. And if I put it in this thing, then I don't have it to put it in the finishing of the project, you know?
One of the cool. I can't think of her name right now. It was on the tip of my tongue. She was one of the co-authors to the Beautiful Creatures series.
Cami?
Cami. She actually did the nano stuff. She was one of the writers who did, you know, the chats kind of thing. She did a little series on YouTube. She has a story Bible, because when you get into multiple books in a series, once you get past one book, that you can forget like which character, like if this character has blue eyes or brown eyes, or if this character's from this place. And she has a story Bible. She had a story Bible for that book series, where it had everything about the characters, and then where, you know, what in which book the character did what, like a brief synopsis of different things that, you know, were important to each character, so that she could keep track of. And I know that George R.R. Martin has to do that with Game of Thrones, or have an assistant who does that with Game of Thrones. It's like, if you noticed, if you've read some of like Stephen King's books, there are one or two little tiny things in the Gunslinger series that are a little bit different. Just a couple of little, you don't notice it unless you're an avid fan, but you know, in a big series like that, once you get past one or two books, you have to kind of keep up with stuff. So sometimes story Bibles are necessary, and then sometimes they're not.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it with the cozy, because I know it's going to extend beyond 3 books. I don't know how many books it will be. I don't have any real angle situation, but I knew that with Blood Roses, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. The most I'm gonna do is like plan out a map of the town and like have a poster board. I haven't done that yet, but just so I could have the kind of where everything's located. But other than that, I don't really have a plan to do anything like that. But for the cozy mystery, it's going to be necessary, because there's going to be a lot of, with cozies, there's a lot of characters. Each character has their own like personality, their own situation happening. Everyone has like a part to play. And eventually the people who were kind of like a non-essential character in book 1, all of a sudden in book 8, like the story is revolving around a mystery that happens with them, you know? So it's like everything's very, very intertwined, which is why I love them. But I need to be able to keep track of them, because, you know, I don't want people to call me out on getting stuff wrong. Like all of a sudden I've changed someone's cat to a dog because I forgot from book 1 to like book 8, you know?
Okay, Erica says, put the affiliate link embedded in your website, and the Pinterest going to the website would then give you access to more data about buyers. Minimum, you could add something like Google Analytics. Yeah, it's a lot of hopping around. Amber says she has a character tracker in Excel that does that. I hate Excel. I did Excel for 25 years. I hate Excel. I could do it, but I don't like to. I just would rather have pictures and have a story Bible on Scrivener and have a physical, like and I'm not a big ring fan of binder, but I for this I would do a binder. I after working in accounting and finance and banking for all those years, I'm so done with Excel. I had to do an Excel thing for the email list for Constant Contact for my newsletter, and when I opened it up, I was like, ugh.
I'm not a big fan of Excel either. I use Excel to keep track of like my expenses and costs. Well, it's not exactly Excel. It's like the Google version, but you know, same basic thing. But yeah, I don't get down with Excel.
I mean, I know how to use it and I understand it. I could probably create some hot diggity dog ones, but I don't want to mess with it. I messed with it every day, Monday through Saturday, for too long.
Well, it is at the top of the hour.
Yes.
My water jug is empty.
So
Google
Sheets, she said, is a lot easier to use. I actually might have to use Google Sheets for my expenses. So thank you, Tamara, so much. I had a blast. I really enjoyed it. This was a much needed chat, I think, about getting back into the swing of things. And now everybody can kind of start sign up for a cabin, create your project in Camp NaNoWriMo, talk to some friends, get prepped. I'm going to, and I'm sure hopefully Tamara will do a how to prep for Camp NaNoWriMo and different things like that. I'm going to have some videos between now and then. And I love when Tamara makes those videos. So please, Tamara, make a video.
I will make a video doing something. I don't know exactly what yet, but I'm going to have a video this week and next week talking about camp. And I'll also be doing a write-in on Thursday this week and Thursday next week, and probably the Thursdays in April as well, because those are my write-in days. And I like to use the Thursdays as a write-in day because it kind of jumpstart me into my weekend. And I don't know, it just works for me. So on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, stop back by over here and write some words with me, because y'all helped keep my ass in the chair. So please do. And thank you so much for taking time out of your Sunday to hang out with us and chat about all the things, and with a little writing sprint added for some extra flavor. I hope that you enjoyed yourself. I hope that this gets you thinking about what you want to do for April, because it's right around the corner. And I don't know about y'all, but with me, I blink and time has passed. So this is like right on time for me too. And it's like a little extra nudge for me to get the stuff done this month so that I can have it all wrapped up and get into next month's projects. So I'm pretty excited. I hope you are too. And again, thank you, Burgess, for coming and chatting with us. It's been a lot of fun. And I will see you guys around the internet somewhere. Happy writing.
Thanks, y'all. Happy writing. Bye.